no, you were gone, and then I was like, hi, Kiki Konversations. But we back on though.
Oh, I see. Listen,
Y'all got some questions? Come on, let the kids have some questions.
the chat is quiet.
That's the chat. It's quiet. They're probably like, what happened? Michelle Johnson sent me a message.
Yeah,
That's
we got a few. We got a few messages.
we got a few. You got text message?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, kids. Come on back. Come on back. Yes, Kenny. Can't come back.
Sorry, y'all. I paid my power bill. I don't know what happened.
Listen, it said computer was like, it was a Teddy Riley moment. Yes.
Ah.
Y'all got some questions? Can you talk about how you balance career and family life? Ooh,
Oh, listen.
that's from Marcus. Uh-huh.
Oh, Marcus. I don't know you, but that balancing family life and career, there really isn't any balance. And you ain't gonna have me crying like we on Oprah. But
Come on, cry.
listen, because you don't I done called you crying before.
I know. I know.
I done called you crying before. No, but I feel like there is no balance, Marcus. I think there unfortunately something always suffers. Especially depends on how much you want the career, how bad you want the career. I have a kid. Technically I'm a single father, although I have my partner. My I feel a lot of times I feel like a bad parent because I'm always gone. Like I'm always gone. My kid gets to see me digitally most times, like y'all seeing me on this live, and nothing. And I tell my mom this all the time: like nothing is better than a hug. Nothing is better than that physical touch, that connection. And I feel like a bad parent, so I can't tell you how to balance it because I don't think I'm doing it well. My kid's well rounded. He's smart as a whip. Relationships suffer. Anybody that knows me on that level knows that I'm a serial monogamist of sorts. And just because you see them here today doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna see them next month. But I've been rocking steady with the same person for a while, but it's difficult. It is very difficult to maintain relationships and be in and to be in this business or any business. Really, I think it's not easy at all.
No, I mean, I think about my life. I mean, Robbie and I, we grew up together and we were childhood sweethearts. And, every time I have to leave, I don't want to leave. And I'm like, you asked for this.
Yeah.
And I don't want to leave. And it was a point in our marriage where it got hard, it got really, really hard. I mean, I married my best friend, but when you're in the trenches,
right,
that doesn't matter, and you have to deal. I remember when we were buying our house, we were moving cross country and I was in Canada singing and he had to do all of those things. And then I still had, to maintain my career and do all these other things. And there's just no way it's no good.
There's no, listen, I don't know a married couple, even if they're not in this business, I don't know a married couple that has a perfect relationship. I don't think it necessarily exists.
Absolutely.
But being in this business, I think makes it puts an extra strain because there's no, I'm at work from 9 to 5 and I come home. It's I'm at work for September and I'll see you in October, and that I see you October might be for a week. It might be for a week.
Right. Exactly.
I'm sure some people do it quite very successfully, but I find that for myself, it's very difficult. And I like being around my significant other sometimes, most times. But Nicole, listen, y'all down there in Texas living the good life, Nicole. Y'all down there living a good life down in Texas, but I just don't know. I mean, I don't know. For me, it just hasn't been easy. And I know a lot of other people whose relationships suffered because of this business. And it's hard to say it if you suffer because of this business, but sometimes you have a partner that will, or a husband or a wife that will understand the being away,
Mhm.
and they understand it up to a certain point. They
Yes.
might understand it for the first 3 years, and then that fourth, fifth year, they're like, okay, so when you gonna come home? Like, I
Right.
can't keep doing this by myself. And
Absolutely.
then when kids are involved,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's completely different. I I I applaud these people with multiple kids who have this job and maintain a marriage and maintain, you know, good, healthy, happy children.
Mhm.
It's tough. It's tough. Listen, I got one kid and myself, and I take care of my mama. That's listen, that's
That's
a lot.
that's a lot.
You know,
That's a lot. But I want you to know that, I don't know very many people who know your story about how you adopted art,
Mhm.
in spite of the fact that you're away, in spite of, all of the challenges that you have, I mean, you have to know that just by changing that child's trajectory,
Right.
by changing his life and coming in and loving him the way you do, you have to understand that is the only thing that matters, and
Absolutely.
I know you know that, but
Yeah, but again, you always wonder like, what can I do? And then sometimes he's such an independent kid that I don't know if that's good or that's bad, because
Mhm.
sometimes he's like, okay, bye,
Right,
okay, bye, and I'm like, I'm not sure if that okay, bye is I get it, or that okay, bye is I don't need you.
I'm right, right. I'm
Whatever it is.
10 years. You're going,
Yeah. So it's very difficult. So listen, the blessing about this COVID-19 is that I get to be with my kid, and it's not the summer, and we're here. I'm here all day. We get to do things like, uh, ride bike in the backyard, and I get to grill every day or every other day, and I get to do stuff like that, and I'm here. He wakes up in the morning, and I'm here, and he goes to sleep, and I'm here.
right,
You know,
right.
that's some, that's something that you can't, replace. And I know that that's going to be um, difficult when it's time to leave again.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I got set off, you mentioned like what's coming up if COVID ain't around. Uh,
Right.
well, I'll start that teaching job at IU on August 1st.
Yes.
School
Excited.
doesn't start until the third week. I think school starts the third week of the month.
Uh-huh.
Um, but the second week of the month, I'm supposed to start rehearsals for Cav Pag in Chicago.
Mm. Ooh. That's a new one.
Yeah, that is a new one. Cav is not new, but
Right.
Pag is. Pag,
Yeah.
well, actually, low key, when I was speaking of singing things inappropriate, when I was very young,
Uh-huh.
Canyo, they didn't have no business. Listen, the Cuban down in Miami, the Cubans put on an opera, and they were like, "You want to sing Canyo?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? Sure, I can do that."
Right. You didn't even know it was hard. Right.
Had no business. Um, but I think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's depending on what's going on with COVID. Who knows? But I just think with our audiences the way they are, they're the average age of them is over 60. I'm sure.
Right.
Um, with how many people have to be on a stage in the rehearsal room at one time.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
That backstage area. I
yeah.
mean, come on.
And even if you test everybody for COVID before you start, even if everybody comes to town, you test everybody. What's stopping somebody from going to the grocery store or somebody coughing on them, on a train? You know what I mean?
I do. I do know
Uh,
what you mean.
it's tough. So I really think that next season is going to be a bust. I really do. I hope I'm wrong.
Prepare. Yeah, prepare that won't happen.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be a bust. So that's the first thing in the fall I'm supposed to do is Calf Pag in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go to Covent Garden supposedly, but they didn't announce their season.
Oh,
They were
okay.
supposed to announce it on March 31st, but I'm supposed to be doing my first call off there in October.
Oh,
So
wow. That's exciting.
that is very exciting. I learned that role when I was 20.
Right, right, exactly.
Again, had no business even looking in that score. Had no business cracking that score.
Right, right, right. But you're like, I know these notes, honey.
I learned that role when I was like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Um, um, I think then after that, I go back to Chicago for a one-off performance of Cavaradossi.
Oh, good.
For some reason, I feel like that's going to be the only thing I do in the fall. Like,
It's Tesla,
I
right?
really think that's going to be because that's right before Thanksgiving. I think that's going to be the first job I have in the fall.
Right, right. Well, it's a good one at least. You just get in, you sing your arias, you have a little duet, you get the holla in the back.
Listen.
It's a way to warm up and get back.
Listen. So I think that I feel like that's going to, but that's supposed to be my fall. Those three things are my fall. And then in December, I was supposed to go back to Houston to start rehearsals.
Right. For
Parsifal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Come on, Parsifal. That's a biggie.
That is a biggie. Well, you know what? It ain't so big.
But you know what I mean. Not like biggie, but just like
he talks when he finally talks, he talks too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of words. It's a lot of words.
Right.
But yeah, I said no to that role at other places. And when it was supposed to be something else, another Wagner piece, and when that sort of fell through for whatever reason, they needed to schedule it, like change the schedule.
Yeah.
In that place of that, they put Parsifal. So I'm actually looking forward to Parsifal.
Yeah.
As I've been looking at it and taking my time with it. It's exciting. It's exciting, but it's a lot of long, drawn out, which I do very well, and I can make colors.
Right.
Like something like a compact, like Othello, where you're balls to the wall for an act, and that tears your throat up.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like that, but it's like long lyric lines or long big lines, but you get to sing. It's not shouting,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that I think I can do very well.
Yeah, I know you can. I'm gonna miss you a little bit, but maybe I get to see a little bit of the.
The performances are in January. I
mean rehearsals. I'm sorry. We get to see some rehearsals.
Yeah. That's supposed to be, the beginning of the season, but I think either the Parsifal will be the first thing that happens, or the
well, we're doing Snowy Day in the smaller theater. I don't even know if that's gonna. Who knows?
Snowy Day in the smaller theater where?
Here, the premiere of the Snowy Day in the what's that called? The McCullough?
And the McCullough is the I think. Yeah, the Brown Theater.
Yeah, one of those. I don't know. I've never sung in Houston, but I was looking forward to that. So hopefully, Yes, Leah, we'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you too. Oh, and Nicole said you need a Liu. Come on, you listen. You don't want Nicole because she's gonna try to steal the show.
Listen, right.
Her.
Listen, floating and singing all pretty.
Right, and looking gorgeous. Get out of here, Nicole. Right. No, y'all have any more questions? Come on, y'all. I know we got cut off. I have never heard you shout. Amir.
Yeah. Oh. Listen. If you heard that Othello, a few of them out of them 6 performances, I shouted for about 3 of them. And it was just about a scruff of God. Just about a scruff of God.
That's all right.
But listen, I don't get to see that one again until 2022. And again, it's not a role that I wanted to do that much, but it ended up becoming a lot.
Right. Well, you already know. They're like, what? Russell wants to do Russell's going to do Othello?
Yeah. And it took just one, and then it just sort of cascaded from there.
Yes. Kevin Short said, "Bravi fam."
Hey, Kevin.
And Nicole. Yeah, I didn't make an announcement about it, about the Snowy Day. It should be fun. That should be fun.
Did they announce this? They announced that in the season, did they?
Yeah, they announced it, but I just didn't make a big deal about it. I guess I was attempting to, and then that bitch Corona was like,
Right. I wasn't having no shows.
Listen, nobody want to hear about what you're doing in 7 months. Get out of here.
What role debut in San Francisco in the summer at Anani? Nope. Done. I was supposed to do this.
The only thing I want people to know is me. It's my name, 2020.
Listen, all of 2020, Corona. What would you know? Corona, better known as listen, COVID-19, better known as the Rona.
The Rona.
Yes.
Exactly. She came in and said that's all the kids are going to be talking
Listen,
about.
that's all. Listen, I don't care what plans you had. Hang them up.
Yes, you're not doing
Hang 'em up.
it. Yes, I hope if Darrell, I hope y'all look at the title role of Costazo by Still. Please send me
Who's your cool?
Darrell Taylor.
Who will look at it? Listen, if is it a 10-year-old Daryl?
Come on, Darrell, is it a tenor role?
Listen, let me do some research.
Okay, you know the big year is coming up. So
Listen, are they? But listen, here's the thing: is anybody going to do it?
who's doing it, Darrell?
Is anybody going to do it?
I don't know.
I would love for somebody to do it, but who's going to do it?
I don't know. Well, maybe some of the big symphonic. I don't know who they should. Hey, Lee, who's doing it, Lee? Do you know who's doing anything?
Darrell said it's a tenor role.
He did. Okay,
Yeah.
I did say that.
Yeah, he just came up. Listen, I would love to. I would love to do some still. I would love to do some black composers. Barry Robertson was telling me about this composer that they called at one point the Black Wagner.
Yes, he was talking to me about that. Is Barry on here?
He was. I don't know if he came back.
No.
I'm asking him right now.
Mm-hmm. Albert said there's a wonderful tenor baritone duet. Oh yes, the lipstick is Rihanna. Come on, Fenty.
Fenty Beauty. Go ahead, Fenty Beauty.
Listen.
Listen. I ain't been taking care of my skin since it's Rona, and I got all this black marks. Forehead. I need to do something. I need to do something. I ain't never had so many marks on my face.
No, you got one more good month to get away with
Henry Lawrence Freeman. Barry just wrote.
He did say that. I just joined. What are we doing, Lee? You missed the whole Lee. You done missed all the tea and the
right. You missed the good part. This is the after show.
Catch the replay, baby. Lee and I go way back too, like back in the day. Tell my baby Jason.
Barry told me I get some toner. Listen, I got some toner. I'm working it out.
Mm-hmm. You will be fresh for the next couple.
Also, all my friends. But I would love to do black composers, but listen, ain't nobody really doing them. Nobody's really doing them. Like I was so happy when the Met finally said they were going to do Terrence's work.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things. Like, isn't that the first time? And I wish we didn't have to be excited about something like that. You know what I mean? It should be regular. And I know we have some great young black composers out there.
We sure do.
I wish people will start commissioning them, or if they will start writing music.
Yeah, I do. Like we need more. I mean, there's Daniel Romaine and who's doing. You guys have to check out Phillies Opera Phillies stream of "We Shall Not Be Moved."
Okay,
baby. When I tell you, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Philadelphian. Like I was overwhelmed by that piece. It was beautiful in every way.
We talked about that when I think when you went and saw it. But yeah, listen, we need more of that. I applaud places like Opera Philly for doing that. And then they also commissioned that song cycle. Or did Larry commission the song?
Yardbird, the Charlie Parker.
Oh, they commissioned Charlie Parker, the Yardbird.
Oh yeah, that was Philly.
Philly. But I wish more people would do that. And then there are all these stories, that people keep posting on Facebook. Like during February, they posted about that black pirate. And I was like, listen, who's gonna write this opera? I would love for somebody to write this opera, and for me to do it. I would love, even if it's not me doing it, let somebody else do it.
But no, there's that opera. Now, you told me about that, the character, and I always keep asking you about that guy. I don't know if he was born a slave, but then he wound up being, oh my God, I can't remember. He was a captain or something, or was it?
I think that's the one.
That story when you were telling me about, I was like, okay, that's an opera. What's going on with people?
People listen. Who's gonna read this opera?
Chicago lyric.
Listen. Get,
People out San Francisco, y'all not doing Hernani.
get him on the line.
Hey, come on.
Commission some young folks.
Get a commission. We need some who's the composers. Come on, y'all. Get with it.
Patrice said we need to do Anthony Davis's X again.
Oh yeah.
I've never saw that whole thing. I only saw bits and pieces of it. I never saw the whole thing. Didn't Robert Smalls? That's Alexis Davis said. Robert Smalls. That's him. That's the captain.
Oh yeah.
Robert Smalls.
Yes, Alexis Philly. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Yes. Yes, we definitely and congratulations to Anthony Davis for winning the Pulitzer Prize.
Isn't that amazing for the Central Park Five? Oh, that's amazing.
Incredible. And that man has been in the trenches creating
forever. Yes.
And not getting his due. And even with that piece, it got kind of overshadowed from Blue and Fire, that summer, the summer of Black Opera.
Maybe because it was done in Long Beach, but I think that it was so powerful. Everything I read about it was that it was so powerful to do that, to see that opera going on. It's important. I really wish they would bring that to the East Coast, so they would put it in the regional theaters.
Yeah.
Detroit, for instance, Detroit needs to do that. I don't know why Michigan Opera Theater didn't pick that piece like that up
immediately.
Places that would embrace that, and why some place in New York isn't doing it.
Right. Yeah.
I would love to see that done at the Park Avenue Armory or something.
Wow.
That would be great to just have that piece done in New York,
yes.
where that story had it had an impact worldwide, but especially in New York.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh,
we do need a Black Opera Festival. I've been saying stuff for the longest.
I think somebody should cut y'all a check. Come on, Kevin. Somebody cut you a check and
get the bros. Get the bros to set up a fund. Get the bros to set up a fund.
Come on, let's go. I got $50 on it.
Yes.
And I'll sing some dollars.
Who was planning to do Champion pre-crisis?
Michigan.
Oh yes.
Terrence was really disappointed, and then Boston was doing it in I think in the fall. But that's another opera. I love Champion. I love Fire, of course, because the role was written for me, but I love Champion. Champion is tremendous. And that Arthur Woodley. Oh my God.
Right. Arthur Woodley's a singing machine.
Ooh.
I wish I could sing half as well as that man right now.
Yeah.
I remember doing Hoffman with him, and he wasn't doing the villains. He was doing one of the other smaller bass roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, I said, "Why are you doing the villains?" The guy who was singing it, he was aight. But I'm like, why are you not singing the villains? He was like, "Man, listen, I ain't got time for that. I can do my little part, and I do it well, and I'm good."
I know. He
that is a singing machine. When I tell you, it's a singing machine.
I know those. When he gets up on those E's and F's and those F sharps, I'm like, sir.
Right. Sir. Again, singing goals to be that age and to still have your voice sound fresh.
Yes.
That's the thing. Even if you don't want to sing all the time, even if you ain't doing the big roles, but for your voice to be able to sound fresh when you have been singing for 40 years. That's one of those things that I aspire to. That's one of those things I aspire to.
Exactly. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alexis. Yes, Black women composers, absolutely. And I'm doing my own thing on the side here and, trying to create projects and opportunities for myself outside of having to depend on other people to determine whether or not I can sustain my career and pay my bills. So I'm, creating my own opportunities, but, finding the Black women composers and Black women theater people to come into the opera world. There's this whole thing about, and even about, race is one thing, right? But the separation of the art forms, opera is this thing. And when people come to the opera, they get treated poorly.
Yeah.
you're not in the circle. And I think there's so many people that want to come in and create and and be a part of.
They need to feel welcome. That's the thing. They need to feel welcome. Listen, we talked about this with Fergie at the Met. I mean, listen, David Robinson is a great. No, Jim Robinson was the director, right?
Yeah, for fire.
And then David, what's his name? David, the conductor. Who conducted it?
Fire?
No, not Fire. Who conducted Porgy at the Met?
Oh, David Robertson.
David Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Robinson, David Robertson. Listen, they're great people. But
Yeah.
why do we have two? Well, one Brit, and I don't know where David is from. But why couldn't that be an opportunity for a black director
Mm-hmm.
and for a young black conductor, or even an older black conductor? You have Alan Wilkinson, but then you have all the young ones that are coming up that are doing great work.
Right.
For me, that was a missed opportunity to say, let me give these people this. Let put this in their hands. Let black folks tell their story through this vehicle.
Yes.
Not by and not through other people's eyes.
Yeah.
The worst thing in the world is for me to be told how hard it is to be black by somebody that ain't black. I could not do that.
Right.
Listen, from what I understand, it was a great show, but I see a missed opportunity. It's just a missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
What can we do?
And we just have to keep going and raising money. Yeah, Alexa talked about raising the money, having people in other art forms, the famous folks be the face and to raise the money. I know Kenny and both. I think Kenny knows a lot of people in that other world that want to come in and
And do stuff. Yeah.
do stuff.
People have to feel welcome. Nobody wants to be feeling like they're an outsider in this situation. And yes, opera is very uppity. Opera is uppity, and I don't think we should make excuses for that or dumb it down because it is. But it can still be but just like you bring these Broadway guys in to do uh, Elixir and to do all this other stuff, and sort of make opera look like a Broadway show.
Right.
Why can't you do that with telling a story like Porgy and Bess with from a black perspective, telling that story from a black perspective
Yeah.
with black people at the helm artistically? I think that would have been more impactful. Not
I
just
agree.
the occasion of doing it; it would have been more impactful.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, David Simmons, the atmosphere is such an important factor in producing operatic art. From purchasing a ticket to leaving the night as creates a certain standoffish, uppity vibe in a way. Right. Listen, I went to go see my friend Dana Beth Miller, who was a dramatic soprano who wound up being who now is a dramatic mezzo soprano. But when she was a soprano, I went to go see her and sing Desdemona. It was her last soprano role. And the woman, I was sitting in the theater, and the woman was like, "Oh, is this your first opera?" And I'm like, no, leave me alone. And Robbie is furious because he hates anytime things like that. When certain people get treated a certain way, he's very like he's ready to fight. And I'm like, no. She's like, oh, who are you? So what brought you here? And I'm like, well, my friend is singing this Desdemona. Oh, that's your friend? How do you know her? And I'm like,
none of your business.
It's none of your business. Like, calm down.
Mind your business.
Right.
You're at the corner of mind and your business.
You just went right over the curb and just kept driving right through.
You just bust your tire trying to be nosy.
all the way. And I was like, and I think I had either just sung my first Violetta in that place, or either it was either before that or I was about to go sing it. I don't remember. And she was like, oh, Robbie's like, my wife's an opera singer,
Right.
And it's just this whole thing of like, we can't do that. Like even if you assume that somebody is new to the space, like there's a way.
There's a way. I mean, even saying, "Oh, do you come to the opera often?" But I would have been offended by that. I mean, my partner, they do it all the time. Oh, who do you know in the show? It's like, why do I got to know somebody in the show? Why can't I just be coming to see? Why can't I just be coming to see it?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And there was a whole thing at the Met with the woman who had the afro, I think.
Oh
during.
yeah, I remember she went to see Aida. She went to see that Aida and the complaining about the fact that this Aida had no black people on stage,
Oh,
but white people painted black. Hey, listen, which there's a whole other story. But the idea of this woman sitting there looking at a show about black people, pretty much
you're
black
right.
folks,
Everybody.
told that her hair was too black and too big to
Oh,
be in that space. It's like, really, really.
oh, the
And
thing.
then the house manager making her feel like she was the one that needed to apologize or was in the wrong.
Yeah, right, right, right. Exactly.
Listen, we can go on and on. We can go on
Yeah,
and on about that. But
absolutely.
that's just one of those. That's one of the reasons why we need more diversity in those positions,
Hmm.
those house manager positions, those um, positions backstage. What can you do?
Well, I think also, and I had this conversation with Annie Burgess, who runs Austin,
Okay,
and she used to be in Philly, and she's general director of Austin. And I was saying to her, you have this tremendous opportunity by running an opera company in a city that has a fantastic HBCU and that has fantastic singers, and you have to use that opportunity to not only groom singers to be on the stage, but also groom the next generation of general directors, administrators, backstage, all of those things.
right,
So many times we're also focused on just the singing part, but getting people before they've been 10 years trying to have a career, and then
right,
decide, oh, I have another skill set. I was like, but when these opera companies are in cities that have already strong music programs with already incredible, art going on, it's your responsibility to go into those communities and
yeah,
find out your diamonds in the rough, right?
right, right, and not just in February, and not we have to do it all the time because
Mhm.
you come in February, we know you're pandering. Why don't you come to us any other time?
Right.
And as I think I talked to you about this, like before Dr. The Cure died, I had spoken to him about starting a program to mentor minority, specifically Black arts administrators. And he was like, I think that's a great idea. I don't know why nobody's ever done that before.
Right. Right.
And I said, listen, between he and Wayne Brown together, they had like 80 years of experience in
Yes.
art administration,
Yeah.
or more. I was like, that's when you need to start doing it. Like, that is the company, and those are the people that need to
Mhm.
start mentoring that next generation of arts administrators like we're talking about.
Right.
Not just, when somebody at the last minute, when somebody's been trying to toil at the career for 10 years and it doesn't work.
Right.
But to go in the beginning and say, hey, you have options. You might want to sing, but know that you have options. There
Mhm.
are all these other jobs that somebody needs to do, and we need other people to do them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always tell people there's a big difference between being in the front of the stage and to being in the chorus. You know what I mean? Which you need your chorus. There's a big gap, although it doesn't look like it.
Right,
There is. It's a long journey, and then it's an even longer journey if you are in the audience and you want to be a singer. You aspire to get into that space, but also to know that there are other avenues and other careers to still be a part of the art, besides being the person, the soloist on the stage.
right, right. Aaron Reader. Not everybody's gonna make it on stage, but
It's
it's
true.
a hard conversation to have with people. I would never tell somebody they can't make it on stage. It's not my place to tell somebody that, because just because I don't like it, I don't get it, doesn't mean that somebody else ain't gonna get it. I was told by people that I wasn't gonna make a career. One for being black, the other one for my voice wasn't right for anything. I
Mhm.
wasn't. It wasn't light enough for early music and Mozart, and it wasn't heavy enough for anything else. You know, and listen, the people that got it, and the people that don't, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. And I thank God for the people that felt it with me and was there with me and understood what I was trying to do and did it with me. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I remember being in when I was singing Louisa Miller and my phone ringing in the dressing room, and I didn't even know there was a phone in the dressing room. Like, I was like, something was ringing. I was like, what in the world? What?
Yeah,
And I went and picked up the phone on the wall, and it was Evelyn Lear.
Nice.
And I love, and Evelyn has always, any competition that she had, and it was $1 in that competition, she had
Mhm.
it for me. She gave
Good.
me sure I had it. You
Good.
know, and there was times where I won first place, and when I won the Londons and whatever the case may be. But anytime she judged because she believed in my talent. You
And
know,
listen, and that's all we need. We need those people. We need those people that believe in us. And just because I don't believe in you, just because I don't get what you're trying to do, just because I don't think the talent level is there, doesn't mean somebody else isn't. And
Mhm.
again, like we've been talking about recently in our private group. You
Mhm.
know, just because somebody doesn't have the talent level necessarily, but if they have the work ethic, you can do a lot with
You can
work.
do that. Thank you.
You can do
Thank
a lot with work ethic. You
you.
can do a lot. And
Yeah.
just listen. And who's to say? Who's to say? Because you know, all of us, we're lucky to have those people in our corners that pushed us or
Mhm.
supported us in some kind of way. We all had them.
Mhm.
We just need more of them. Uh, and from the behind the stage, um, the back office level, that's
Yes.
what we need.
Absolutely. Okay.
Who's that? Love Evelyn Lear. Yes, me too. She used to come down to Miami
Yes.
and get her and Helen Donut and give voice lessons and coaching. Amazing.
Yeah, she retired in Florida, didn't she?
Yes, she and Thomas Stewart. That was Thomas Stewart, right? Her husband.
Her husband. Yes, 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 yes.
Thomas Stewart. Yeah,
Yeah.
they retired down in Florida, and they used to come to FGO,
Uh-huh.
give master classes and coachings all the time
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. Beck, she was a tremendous artist. Y'all
Yeah.
got any more questions? Any more questions? Any more?
All right, Patrick McCoy, preach. And what man discounts God would elevate. All right.
Listen.
Ain't that the truth? Listen, that's why I was speaking to a young man from IU the other day. And he said that his teacher, after studying with that teacher for over a year, that
Mm-hmm.
told him, "Oh, I don't think you got what it takes to be an opera singer. So you should just go get your doctorate. So you can teach."
Okay. Um,
So what you want me to keep paying? Basically, I want you to keep paying money to the school,
right.
but I don't think your career is out there for you. So you might as well just be a teacher.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I was like, you don't tell people that. You don't tell people that. You can't do that to people.
No,
You can't do that to people because just
no.
because you don't do it doesn't mean somebody else does it. And you know what? You're his teacher. If he's missing something, teach him. Teach him. And if you
Teacher.
don't have and if you don't have the tools to give that kid, find somebody else that has the tools to give it to him and say, hey,
Yeah,
I can do it for you, but maybe you should go do it. Maybe
absolutely.
that person can help you out better than I can because I can't help you.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
don't say you don't have what it takes.
Right. Nobody knows that.
Nobody listen. And we both have heard a lot of mediocre throats on stage.
Mhm,
We
absolutely.
both have heard a lot of mediocre throats on stage. But you know what? Most of them have. They have a work ethic that gets them over the hump,
Hmm.
and they have a support system.
Yes.
So that's all they need. If the person has the work ethic and a support system,
That's it. Right. Exactly. Absolutely.
you can do a lot with that.
You can do a lot with that. And on top of it being a pleasant person,
Right.
takes you far too. Okay, Christian, who's a fantastic young tenor, said, how do you feel about music theater entering into the opera seasons? It's a necessary because they buy tickets.
Yeah, and usually the music theater things sell better, and they can do more performances of them than they can in operas. They
Hmm.
have as many dark nights. I think. Listen, it's all for financial boon, and there are places that do it well, like Chicago, um, and I think
Glass, Washington, Chester.
Washington, yes, Washington is trying to do it more now.
Hmm.
Listen, I think it's great. I mean, if it makes sense with your audience, if your audience likes it, then why not?
Yeah.
I find American musical theater to be really close to opera personally, if it's done well. If you have the right kind of voices, you can do very well sung musical theater performances.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, it brings different audiences to the opera, and then they get into the space and they're like, oh, this is kind of cool, maybe I'll come see something else.
Right.
We have to, that's a part about that welcoming at the front door, like, hey, come on in, you have to have that,
Right.
it's the life, it's going to be the lifeline of what we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cameo, what suggestions do you have for us wanting to transition into administration and bringing our experiences as performers?
Well, from what I understand, and I've been asking this question a lot because I wanted to be, and I still want to be in administration. Um, the idea is learning how to raise money and write grants. Anything that raises money for an opera company or arts organization is the way to go. And you have to be willing to start at the entry in an entry level job, making no money. Just like with singing, you have to start somewhere. You have to start at that job, the Young Artist Program. Our first Young Artist Program that paid was Opera North, and they paid $100 a week. $100 a week, I'll never forget it. $100 a week for 6 weeks, and I had to, do. I had to cover Tamino, sing one of the Armored Men, and sing one of the elders in Susanna. It was a 6-week contract. For $600, I did all of that work.
Wow.
and plus a fully staged scenes concert. Opera North for $100 a week.
Oh my goodness.
You have to be willing, Camille, to go into that system and know that you won't make a whole lot of money. And what's interesting is Lyric Opera Chicago has, last time I looked on the job site, they had like 10 positions available, from everything from front desk to scheduling people and everything else. You have to do. You can listen. We can talk about it. Hit me up if you want to talk about it, and we can. I can point you in the direction. Absolutely, we can talk about it.
Camille, don't. Yeah, I know you will, because he's good. He's on point with that. And Larry, thank you, Larry, for always being a tremendous support. And I wanted to say something like about that earlier.
Yeah, Larry's another person that comes to everything and supports everything that. Listen, especially with Black folks is in, Larry's gonna be there.
He's gonna be there, and we need you
all over the country to see people sing.
He certainly did. He said he was driving to Detroit for. I think he was driving to Detroit for Champion or something, but it got canceled. Yeah. Oh. Hey, Joe Spector. Joe, would you come on my show and talk? Happy to discuss this subject with folks, yes, that are interested. Absolutely, Joe Spector.
Listen, that is a great resource. Camille, hit up Joe Spector, Camille.
Yeah, hit up Joe. Absolutely.
Joe's been the general director now of 2 companies now. I think is Joe still in Arizona?
Yeah, he's GD at Arizona, and he was GD at Austin.
Right.
Before Annie. Yes. You know what? Get out of here, Nicole Houston.
Listen, I don't know which part exactly, but it sure does sound like it. Tell Stan when it sounds like it, it is it.
And Kevin Shore, we need Kevin Shore running some company. I know he's teaching the kids how to sing legato and sing, phrases, but we need Kevin running something.
Right. Kevin said, are you a long-term planner? So what's your 10, 20-year plan? Oh, wow. Listen, I used to be, Kevin. I used to be. I remember writing down, I still have the paper in my office where I wrote down when I was in college that by this age, I want to be singing this and I want to do this. And I had all these things. I wanted to win a major competition, first place at Paris in a major competition. And I wanted to do this by the time I was that age. And I wanted to sing at the Met by the time I was this age. And I did most of that before I turned 30. And after I turned 30, I was a basket case. Because I was like, what am I going to do now? I've done everything that I said I wanted to do. I was lost. I was absolutely lost. But I had all that stuff written down. What was that, your cat?
You know it is. Get out of here. Excuse me. Go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah, but I had all that stuff written down. And my plan now is I just want to sing for a while longer. I'm one of these people that I don't want to sing until I'm old and, 60. I don't have no desire to be living out of a suitcase at 60 years old. But I really would love to run a company. I really would love to be in that part of things. But now I got this teaching job, and I'm gonna see how long I can do that and deal with that. And I'm taking it seriously, and yeah, it's been fun so far. But August 1st, we'll see how it all's gonna work out.
I'm excited for you.
Listen, I am too.
I remember we were
All
talking
right, boy, Joe, have a good dinner.
time. Okay, bye Joe. See you soon, hopefully. Yeah.
Uh, but it's one of those things. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
we've
Oh
been, we've been talking about this stuff forever. Like we've known each other for so long. We talked about all this stuff. Like how do we need to mentor young Black singers, and what do we need to do to support them, and what does that look like? What does support look like? Because they can look the same for everybody.
no, it's not. It's not gonna look the same for everybody.
Right.
No.
What does it mean to leave a legacy in the business that we don't feel like was left for us in terms of legacy of support for other singers? You know,
Yes.
what does that look like?
Yeah.
And how do we go about doing that in a meaningful way? Because we know a lot of people do things,
Yeah.
but it ain't meaningful. You know,
No.
they're sort of just doing things. They're sort of just doing things, or even doing things to make themselves look good,
Yes.
but
Yes.
it's not necessarily to make a meaningful impact on the business.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely. I'm
yeah.
just going to take this one last. Will you work with? Kevin said, will you work with all types of voices? But I wanted to answer Johanna Latini, who, please watch out for her. This girl's throat is phenomenal. She's a coloratura. She said, but I think you're a coloratura, Joanna. Don't let me say anything wrong. But she said, for singers straddling the yap and main stage, like, what are some tools you wish you had in the tool belt earlier in your careers?
Oh, for me, I got to tell you, having that Met Young Artist, even though I wasn't a favorite, I got to tell you, but having that Met Young Artist notch in my belt, so to speak, helped me a lot. And it put me in contact with Peter Sellers and John Adams. And for the first, I want to say 5 to 7 years, that's pretty much all I did was Peter Sellers and John Adams projects. New music stuff and rare Mozart stuff and concerts with Louis Longré around the place. And yeah, I was lucky in that regard. So I don't know, maybe Karen's experience.
Yeah, I mean, straddling the yap and the. I mean, literally went from being not the favorite at San Francisco Opera as an Adler Fellow to like the Met stage, singing, covering a lead role and singing the lead. Like that's really kind of was my trajectory, which is not doesn't really make sense. That's not really kind of how it should go. But I think for me to think, like I talked about with Janae, I said, I struggled for the first 3 to 5 years of my career because I didn't know my voice. And it wasn't just my voice, it was everything, like how I wanted to do it, because I always had people telling me how to do it. No, don't do it that way, do it this way. And I went from a big school, and singing 8 roles at Curtis, to like being in Maryland, where you have masterclass after masterclass, being an Adler, where they're putting everything in your, throat. And then you're in the career, and it's like, and then you have to figure out how to make it work without someone telling you how to do it. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, that is one of the things I would say though about that is that I didn't. It was difficult for me to plan my day because there was always a schedule for me beforehand. When I was a young artist, there was a schedule, and I just had to do what was on the schedule. I appeared when it was on the schedule. I coached when the schedule said coach. I had a lesson when the schedule said have a lesson.
right.
So that part of it was very difficult. Um, but on the other hand, I'm a hustler, so I was just trying to make sure that I had work. I sang for everybody that I could sing for.
Yes.
Listening. And one of the things I stopped doing because of that thing that you just talked about, Karen, about not knowing your own voice, I
Mm-hmm.
stopped coaching. I stopped coaching after I left the Met Young Artist program.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped coaching. I do not coach.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
I don't want anybody in my head because that coach is going to tell you a way to do something, and then you're going to get with a conductor, and the conductor is going to tell you to do it all differently. But if somebody's been beating it into your head one way, it's going to be so difficult for most singers to make those adjustments because they've only been doing it one way because that coach told them to do it that way.
Right.
And I just don't want to be in that position. And one of the good things about me as an artist and as a worker is that I'm able to make adjustments fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the reasons I'm able to make those adjustments quickly is because I don't have somebody in my head telling me to do it a certain way.
Absolutely. And absolutely. And, for me, after I figured, like, what the hell are you struggling for anymore? Like, you don't need that. Like, you've always been your own kind of, I was a singer that never needed my teacher to tell me what arias to sing, what competition
Yeah,
to do. I always went in like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to sing this. And so, somewhere along the line, I kind of got off of my, track. But after a while, when I figured I'm going to stop struggling, like, I'm going to stop fighting myself
right. Yeah.
and trust that my instinct. And now I never, mostly times, never, veer from that. But
Darrell tells that, are you advising young singers shouldn't coach? No, I would say don't coach as much and to maybe coach with one person that you trust and
mhm,
not to have five different voices in your head. When you get into young artist programs, you're not just coaching with one person. You're coaching with the young artist coach, the head of music staff, whatever coach is on top of that person, and the music director, and you're coaching with all these different people. So my thing is, I would say to coach with one person
mhm,
that knows the rep, that knows the languages, that knows what they're doing, and then at some point too, you got to step away from them
yes,
and learn how to do it yourself. To
mhm,
learn what Russell Thomas or Karen Slack or whoever it is, what their voice is in this, and not what my coach told me to do this, or
mhm.
my teacher said I had to do it this way. This is sort of what young singers get into and get tied into, and they end up not um, they end up not knowing how to do it for themselves.
Right. And when you're in the middle of wherever and you're nowhere near a coach, nowhere near, or if you work somewhere where you're not working with a very good conductor, and you have to go into a practice room and figure out how to get yourself prepared,
Yeah,
yourself out of trouble. Because sometimes people don't understand. It's a second by second when you're on stage, and you have to practice that. You can't not practice how to get yourself out of a bad situation.
there's so many singers, and I know you wanted to wrap it up, but there's so many singers that sing that refuse to sing sick ever. Like they don't sing sick. So what happens when you're in a work situation? There's no cover. You can't cancel.
Mhm.
Are you not going to know how to sing sick because you've never practiced singing sick and
Mhm.
what that feels like and what you need to do to get yourself out of that hole? Um, that's very important. And what happens is with young singers, they get so dependent on that teacher and that coach that they don't know how to break that chord.
Mhm.
They don't know how to do it themselves. The best thing a teacher or a coach or anybody can teach you is how to do it yourself, how to figure it out on your own, how
Yes.
to be independent. That's something that I was glad I had. I had that from the very beginning of my life, luckily, because my coaches always said, "You're not going to have somebody there telling you how to do it.
No.
You got to figure it out on your own." And when that conductor tells you to do it a different way, he's going to be pissed off if you can't make that change. He or she is going to be pissed off if you can't make that change when they need you to make that change. And usually it's like right then.
Yeah.
They ain't going to give you no chance to go to the practice room and do it. You have to be
Listen.
able to do it yourself right then and there. And they're going to put you on the spot, and your colleagues going to get mad at you. They're going to be looking at you crazy. Like, can't you do this? Like, can't you figure this out?
Mhm. Yeah.
This
Exactly.
Right. Those are one of those things. You need to learn how to be independent of your teacher and of a coach. You need to learn how to do it yourself.
Mhm.
Listening, by taking it seriously, taking notes, whatever. Listen, we know some singers, famous singers, that used to fly their teachers and coaches around everywhere they were to teach them how to do something.
Sure did.
If you got money like that, go ahead and waste it. But
Yeah.
listen, I like walking around in Gucci shoes and walking around with expensive bags. I ain't giving nobody I ain't giving nobody my money. And listen,
Right.
we got a kid that also enjoys those things and a mama that also enjoys those things.
Yes.
So I'm not giving anybody my money
Mhm.
when I know that I can figure it out on my own.
Yes.
So I
Absolutely.
would tell young singers, learn how to figure it out on your own without having somebody there feeding it to you.
Yeah.
You need that.
Absolutely. That's the best advice. Anybody else have questions? I mean, this has been such a great, like, I mean, I know you were anticipated guests, and I was anticipating.
Not anticipated. Not anticipated.
Anticipated.
Anticipating me? Listen, John Holiday, come on, shoes and bags.
Oh, boy, John Holiday, where you been, Holiday?
Right, Holiday. Listen, we don't know each other outside in the publications. So when you see me, you're gonna see me around with some
old nasty
nasty Gucci shoes, scarf. Listen, Gucci shoes, scarf, and a bag. You're gonna see it everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Yes, Holiday, you coming on here in June? I think you're gonna be my first guest in June, Holiday. Come on over in the room.
Not bag of Bengals. I don't do the Bengals, Camille. Oh, but earlier Kev had asked me if I was going to teach only tenors. No, I'm not teaching only tenors. That would be boring. Right now, there's only one tenor confirmed in my studio. But we'll see. I mean, I would be okay with teaching all tenors, but I don't want to do that. That would be so boring.
Yeah. I mean, remember the first time I was, working with a tenor, I was like, oh my God. Like, that's a whole other breed of thing. But I was just like, okay, what do I say? Like,
and we crazy. Like, you don't want crazy. Like, that's too much crazy to have.
It's a lot.
That's too much crazy to have. No, I can't do it.
I'm not doing it. You can't have that. I'm not doing it. Give me a baritone, soprano, mezzo, bass, even a bass. But tenors are like.
Right. Nicole says she trips out on singers bringing their teachers to gigs. Listen, I know one singer, very famous soprano, or two of them, that always flew their teacher all over the place and had to pay their teacher for the amount of lessons that the teacher would have had in that day. So, mind you ain't getting that many lessons, but you got to pay for all the lessons that teacher missing.
Wow, that's a lot of money going out.
That's a lot of money going out. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
No.
And Nicole, I have no plans in the immediate future to move to Indiana.
No. Well, Angela Brown is like, come on in the room. Come on into Indiana. Angela, nope. She's in
Raimi. Listen, another person I heard early on in my life.
Sam Raimi. I will never forget Sam, me being in San Francisco, and then when I was in the Met Finals that 50th anniversary year, where all the legends were there, and Sam Raimi was the coolest cat in town, honey. Every time.
I was so happy to get to perform with Sam when we were doing Attila at the Met, and he was doing at that time, I think it was the role. I think it was called the Pope or something. Yeah, that was amazing. And I remember learning and listening to him sing Attila, La Scala. I think it was with Cheryl Scooter on that video. I used to have a video and the deep CD of that. I used to listen to it all the time.
Yes. Oh, Sam, we love you. Thank you for. I always say thank you for choosing your path. So many of us, could experience that and believe that we can do it. I mean, we grew up on, laser discs and VHS watching you guys.
Listen, I used to have every Richard Tucker Gala video on VHS, but don't tell anybody. I don't got no VHS no more, but right.
I still have. I need to get rid of them because I don't have a player, but
right.
I can't throw it out. It's so many things I just can't throw out. Yes. Anybody else have a question? Arnold, well, cut it out, Arnold. We already know the tenors are. Listen. Oh, tenors are not crazy. Everybody else is.
Listen. Oh, well, listen, it was a good chat. Ain't nobody else talking. I think we done talked the kids down.
I know we done talked the kids down, and people come. But thank you, Russell. I love you so much.
Love you back, sweetie. It was an honor to be on your Kiki Konversations. Yeah. So listen, when you make it big and NBC give you your own show, your own show, you better have me on there too.
You better wear them Gucci shoes, honey.
I will.
All right, love you, babe.
Love you back.
Bye guys.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Mm-hmm.